Welcome to Gaming with the Guys. I'm Greg. I'm here tonight in Schaumburg, Illinois with my son Jason. Say hello, Jason.
What's up, everybody?
He's behind the camera tonight. And we're finally going to start a new game. If you haven't known us, we've been playing games since the COVID outbreak. We've been playing some of our favorite games, mainly Bushido, a little bit of Arena Rex, but tonight we're finally going to play a game that we've been dying to play for months and months. And that game is The Drowned Earth. Drowned Earth by Olmec Games is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi game where you could take the role of Barengi, which is a giant gorilla, anthropomorphic dinosaurs, humans, Verge, which are kind of like they're like dwarves, but they're human. They're kind of a human crossbreed. Anyway, there's a lot of different races. There's a Birdman that you could play, and you could have dinosaurs. So anything that has dinosaurs has got to be pretty cool. But what really draws me to this game is the mechanics and the gameplay for it. The mechanics really make it stand out, especially for the movement. There's going to be a lot of dynamic movement. So if you ever wanted to play a game where you're going to run, jump across something, and then take a shot and then jump into the water, this is the game for you. Has a lot, as you could take a look at the map here really quick, you could see that there's a lot of terrain. We don't have as much 3D terrain as I would like to have, although we do have enough layers and levels and things like that where we're gonna be able to do a lot of fun movement with climbing up things, jumping across things. So it's a lot of fun to get that kind of action in. So what we'll do is we're going to play a small game to start off with, and we're going to slowly build over the next few weeks our forces up. But we're going to start tonight with what's basically a 60-point game. We'll kind of get into that as we go. It's going to be about 3 figures per side. So we'll show you our forces. We'll show you the scenario, and we'll get into it. Thanks for watching.
I ran 60 points of Firm Crew, the mobsters of the post-apocalyptic world. The leader is the wily Kaneda with his twin Uzis. Joining him is the Barengi Hask with the power sledge. And finally the mechanic pyro Mirja. Jason ran 60 points of Wayfarer Crew. Leading his crew was Wishbone with his E-staff. Joining him was the medic Grays. And rounding out the list, the scout Arnax. Jason had one effect card, Deadly Shot. The scenario that Jason and I selected for our 60-point battle was the Couriers. The Couriers has each side selecting one figure to be the courier who will carry the prize off the enemy's deployment zone. Additional scoring can be had by capturing the enemy's prize and taking it off the board, or getting your other characters off the board, scoring you further points. The game ends on turn 4 or 5.
Alright, so we've done all of our pre-game setup and placement of figures. Jason won the initiative, so he chose to be player B, which, as you can see, means I got to set out my figures first, which was everything but the courier. So I had Canada go over here on the left-hand side. I have Mirja in the middle, and I have Hask, who is my courier, right over here. And our cat just came in from outside and is crabby. Haas came in at the end. Jason brought in...
I have Wishbone, who's hiding out over here. He's hiding behind this large structure, and there's a little barricade there. He's also swimming, which we've got this little marker here to show he's in the water. My courier is Grays, and she's up against the island here. A little bit out in the open, but there's enough blocking stuff in the way, and people are a bit far away, so it won't matter. And then I had someone infiltrate in for this mission, which is Arnox there. So at the beginning of the game, I had made a intelligence roll, and I was able to pass, which allowed me to deploy him anywhere on my half of the board edge. So he's stealthily hiding in those crates right there, getting ready to attack someone if anybody happens to walk by him.
So that brings us to a really quick thing before we get into the first round here. How does the game mechanic work? So in the game mechanic, you're going to roll 2 dice. One die is going to be an attribute dice. The other die is going to be the feat die. the attribute die needs to roll, and there's several different options that you get for success. But the goal that you're trying to do is you're going to try to roll underneath a particular attribute. So for example, for shooting, you want the bullseye markers, the number that you have to roll, equal to or under to be successful. Now, as I said, there's several different levels of success. There is pass, in which the attribute die scores equal to or less than the particular attribute that's being used. There is nailed it, which is a degree of success higher than pass. Nail it is when both the attribute die and the feat die are equal to or less than the attribute. And then finally, there is, or I shouldn't say finally because there's one more, there's feat. Feat in this game is if the feat die rolls a 1. Now what's interesting is I can even fail on the attribute die test, but as long as I get that 1 on the feat die, I am successful. And in addition, not only am I successful, I'm successful at the nailed it level of success. I also get an action back because I will spend action points to be able to move my figures around. I can fail if my attribute die is equal to is higher than the attribute being rolled, and I can blunder. A blunder is if I fail the roll. So if I roll higher than the attribute, and I get the same number on the attribute die and the feat die. Last thing that's important to remember is even if I roll a success on the feat die, I still do not succeed if I do not succeed on the attribute die. The attribute die has to come up as a success for it to be pass or nail it. The only time that I can fail, quote unquote fail, or not get the roll on the attribute die is if I roll a feat or a 1 on the feat die. You'll kind of see it as we go along. Jason's going to take his first turn, and who, Jason, are you going to activate?
I'm going to spend 1 activation, and I'm going to activate Graze. Graze's movement is 5/6, so 5 is her normal movement. 6 is her movement if I roll a nail it for a movement test. In this scenario here, I'm just going to advance her 5 and just do a standard action and not worry about dynamically jumping over the water there to get an extra inch. So Graze will go to there, and she'll carry along our cargo here, and that will be my first activation.
She's not using any of her other action points?
Oh yeah,
she does
have two. That's right. She got another one. Sorry, took me a second there. I was stuck on Bushido for a second.
No
The second activation here, I'm going to actually have Graze jump into the water here, and she'll be swimming. So she'll go another 5 inches, because once you enter in the water, you are not eligible to go your nailed it distance. So she's going to swim over to there, and she'll hide behind that shipping container while she's also swimming in the water.
Alright.
And so that will be my first activation with Graze.
She's used both of her activation points. Jason kind of showed the movement. As we do some other things, we'll show you how the movement mechanic works. He did the very basic movement. Basically, if you don't do anything crazy, or if you do something that's restricted, if you don't do anything crazy, you're going to be able to move your full distance. If you try to do some of the crazier things, or you do restricted movement, you may have less movement. So hopefully we'll see what I do, and then who I activate and what I do with that, and you'll be able to see how movement works a little better here in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to activate, for my first activation, I'm going to activate... Oh, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to activate my main man, Canada. Because I want Canada to issue some orders. So that way I can get some more activations on Mirja. So it's obstructed, but he could see Mirja. Doesn't matter the range, and everybody has 360 arc, so it's not a big deal. So what he's going to do is he's going to spend an action. Then he's going to move, and then I'm going to do, before I do my move, I'm going to be moving to here And I'm going to do, since it's clear movement and I am not anything restricted, I can move my nailed it distance. So you'll notice on the card here, he has a movement value of 4-6. That's where the little foot is. So the 4 is if you get a pass success, that's how far you can move in inches. If you get a nailed it or a feet success, I can move to 6 inches. Now, the trick being is, if it's open, clear movement with nothing blocking you, nothing causing you to do restricted movement or do any kind of dynamic movement, you can move your nailed it distance without having to make any rolls. So that's what Canada's going to do. Before he does that, though, he's going to try and make a successful command check. The command check is going to allow me to move some action points, and I'm going to move them off of Canada onto Mirja. So it's an intelligence check to do that. He has a 7. White is my attribute die, green is my feat die. So I pass. So I'm going to move, I have 2 remaining action points. I'm going to move 1 over to Mirja. So that leaves, actually I'm going to move, no, I can only move 1 because I was pass. If I would have gotten nailed it, I could have moved 2. So that's going to leave Mirja with 3. Canada has 1 remaining, and then I finish my action with him. So I can move up to 6 inches, which gets me to the shore edge, which is exactly where I want to be. And then I will take my second action, and ooh, that's kind of a long distance. I'm just going to swim, because that'll get me on the shore. So because I could try to jump over it, but I'm not going to. It's just too much to try to do that. I'm going to swim, which means it's restricted movement. I can only move my pass distance. So the good news is because I don't end up surrounded in water, next turn when Canada goes, he'll be able to move nailed it distance if I need to. So that's Canada's action. That gives you a little bit of how movement works. We still haven't gotten into the dynamic movement, so we'll probably hopefully see that here in the next couple turns because the action's going to get a little more intense here.
Alright, so since Canada activated, I clearly need to have my leader whip himself into shape, but I am not going to be heroic and lead my people. Instead, I'm going to start doing some crazy fun stuff. So, from the water, I am going to...
Remember, because you're surrounded by water, you can only move your pass move.
So what I'm going to try to do here is go on top of this crate, or this roadblock right here, and then jump up another 3 inches. Or, well,
so
it's about...
that should be less than an inch.
Well, it's an inch to get up to here, so I'll be able to move up to there, and then it's another 3 inches, and then it's about, we'll say, 2.5, 3 inches to get up to this platform here.
What's his move for?
My move is 4, so if I get 6, then I can...
You can't get 6, remember, because you're starting in water.
That's right. So, but I can at least jump up to there, so I'll be good.
You can at least hang from there. Yeah.
So, I'm going to do a dynamic movement. Wishbone is actually fairly agile, so he's going to need 7s in order to pull this stunt off. And I failed.
Okay, so when he fails, he could still move his pass distance. He just won't be able to do any dynamic movement. So what he'll do is he'll get on top of that wall, because his base can fit on it. Kind of.
The pterodactyl
should fit on it.
It does.
Just that.
The pterodactyl was getting in the way.
But then he can't go any further. So where the point of the dynamic movement would... well, actually, no, you still get your dynamic movement with pass. So he's actually hanging from... Oh, no.
No, I failed.
Failed, yeah, so that's it.
Yep, that's all I go. Alright, we're going to try that again and try to pull myself up to at least get that pass.
So where else would you want to go if you... Because now you're not surrounded by water, so you can't go nail it distance. You could climb really high if you want.
Yeah, we'll try to actually climb up there as high as I can.
Go 6?
He can go 6 if I nail it.
Probably get up to that second level.
Yeah, I'll get up to the second level if I get to it. If not, I'll get up to that first level for sure if I pass.
Okay.
So let's try to get that 7 again. I failed again. Alright, so I just hang out there.
Kind of hang out there. So the downside on the dynamic movement is if you booch those rolls, it makes it kind of hard to do. His last action, because leaders have 3, what's he want to do? Does he want to try it again?
No, I kind of do, because I want to try to get him up there, but at this point, I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, so...
Yeah, give it a whirl.
Yeah, we'll try it, I guess. Failed.
Okay.
Alright, so he just hangs out there.
He hangs out there. He's in cover. He's waiting to see what happens. We'll see if one of my guys has some more luck with the movement here. Alright, so I'm going to activate Mirja right here. Mirja's got 3 action points. because I commanded her to get her butt in motion and do some work with those flamethrowers and flame fists. So, and of course I put it on Haas because that's wishful thinking. Alright, so we got Mirja. So Mirja, her first thing she's going to do is she is fairly in, now she's 5'6". Well, her first movement's quick, she just doesn't have a whole lot of flat out speed. However, she's going to try and move 6, which will get her to the top of that crate. Now I could do that because I have, it's clear running, I have no obstacles in my way, so I'm good to go there. So that's her first move. Her second move is she's going to try to cross this span. She wants to jump it. So it's 2 inches to get to there, 5 to get across, or just about across, 6. So we're going to try to get her right about here, if we can. Now, does Arnox want to react to that movement? So things that you could do, you can, if you have action points and you can see the movement, you can react. Your figures can react, and it's any figure that can react to that, as long as, again, they have the action points and they can do it. But the reactions that they could take are shoot, melee, or dodge.
Arnox will... Yeah, when you make the jump, Arnox will take a shot at you.
You're going to take a shot once I've cleared cover and whatnot, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to there.
Pretty much.
So, well, basically you'll be shooting at me here.
Yeah.
I can nest an action and I'm going to take a dodge. So that way, when we do the dice rolls, it'll be contested. Or opposed, I should say. So, but that'll take my action, my second action to do that. So, here we go. So we're going to do an opposed test.
Well, don't you have to move?
Oh, first I got to. Well, I'm going to have to move, and then it's going to still be an opposed.
Yeah,
and I got to figure out where I put my dice. Oh, they're right up here. All right. So as you can see, Mirja has a 7 in movement. That's a little cliffhanger, or agility, I should say. And my white die is my attribute die, and my green die is my feat die. I need 7s. I nail it.
Okay.
So I do move my nail it speed, so that will get me to over here. You're wanting to shoot me at the closest point, which is there.
Yep.
I'm going to dodge. That looks to be, we'll call it 7.5, 8 inches, 7 inches.
7 inches? Awesome.
What's the range on that?
8.
So I'm within spray.
Yep, so Arnox will drop his stealth and he will fire his boarding shotgun.
His mighty boarding shotgun. Now, he gets a +1 because the range. Now you'll notice the range has a split. It has 2 different numbers. So for Arnox, it has a
8-12.
8-12. One is pass range. One is nailed it range. You'll also know he has 2 damage numbers, which is
2 and 4.
2 and 4. So if Jason gets a pass because I'm within pass range, he could use. Well, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Because I'm within pass range, that lower number, that first number, if Jason rolls a nail it, he could use the nail it damage. So the higher number damage, the 4. If I was at a longer range, let's say I was at 12 inches, Jason would need a nail it just to hit me, and he would be able to use the lower pass number for damage. So that's just kind of how that mechanic, that split mechanic works. If it was all in roll a pass and you're within pass range, you're going to do the pass damage, so you do the lower numbers on both. It's just when you're at the closer range, the first range band, if you will, and you get the nail it, you could use the higher damage. You could shoot at something that's farther than pass range as long as you nail it. Alright, so that out of the way. I'm going to dodge, which is an agility roll, so I need a 7 or better. Now, here's the trick. Jason has spray, so because I'm within pass range, he's +1 to hit, but I have camouflage, so I, with camouflage,
you're +1.
Enemies shooting at me are at a -1 on their marksmanship, or their shooting ability. So, basically, his bonus is wiped out by mine, so he's his flat number, which is
5.
He needs 5, so I need 7s to dodge, Jason needs 5s to hit me. Here we go. I feat.
I also feated.
And we both tied. So here's the fun part. So we both get an action back. We are both successful. So that means that because I successfully dodged, I don't avoid the damage per se, but I do get the dodge movement of 1 inch, which actually is going to be surprisingly helpful for me in a moment. But Jason does hit me.
Yep.
So he does hit me at the nail it, so I take how much?
4 dice.
Yikes. So I got to do 4. So now damage works. You roll the number of dice for the incoming amount of damage. So I have 4. So I got 4 damage dice. The number that I'm trying to get to avoid the damage is the shield number, or my toughness, plus any armor. In this case, I don't have any armor on Mirja, so I need 3s or better to avoid taking a single point. The number of 3s that I get on this will eliminate, 3s or less will eliminate a point of damage, depending on what I roll. If I blow all of them, I'll take 4 points of damage. If I hope I get at least 1 success, so let's see what happens. I do not.
Ooh, so I downed her?
You downed her. She is down. She's not taken out, but she is down. So that was not...
That was very successful on my part.
That was very successful. Wait a minute. You feeded with the
I
1-7. Yeah, and I feeded with the 1...
You also feeded with the 1-7.
Right, with the 1-7, except that mine was a natural success.
Yeah.
It would have been a nail it if I hadn't done it.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm down a figure. Now, when you go to 0 health, you are downed. There are medics in the game that could come up and heal. I don't have a medic, but I'm just going to leave her there. But she's down. Now, the next point of damage she takes is going to take her out of the game. If I had 1... Now, the other way to take a figure out is if, let's say I had 1 health left, and Arnok shot me again and did 2 points of damage, because the damage is double what is remaining, I would be taken out of the game, rather than just left downed. Alright, so that didn't go quite as the way I wanted it, so we're going to see what happens next.
Alright, so it's my go. So I got very fortunate, so I guess I made up for my substandard attack movement with shooting someone in the face.
That was a good feat, and you got your action back that you used for your reaction, so...
That's even better.
That stings. For me.
Alright, I guess what I will do is... I'm going to advance Arnox, so he's just going to move over the crates here, and he's going to advance over by this plant here to get some additional cover and see where our big friend Toss goes.
The danger of having too much terrain.
It's alright. It's all good. So he'll go to there for his first action. Okay. My second action... Well, I could try to reach out and shoot Kaneda, but that's 12, and he's also behind that tree. So he's got cover, so that makes him like a 7 or 8. Oh, well, it's unopposed, though, because you wouldn't be able to dodge.
It would be unopposed. I would be in cover. I would say it's soft cover.
Yeah, so I would...
So you'd be -1 on your marksmanship.
Which would be a 4. Not the best options. I can't see Hosk all the way over there.
No, that crate's kind of in the way.
I know. I'm actually going to hold off on the action so I can see what Haas can do. So I'm going to hold at this point to see what Haas is going to do, because I'm like in prime, like Haas jumping me distance probably.
Hopefully. Alright, well, let's see what I'm going to do. Haas is the only person I have left. So, I will...
Did you want to switch?
No. Alright, so I'm going to have Haas go. I lost my tape measure. Where'd it go? There it is.
There you go.
Thank you. Kosk has a 5. So I could just get to there with his movement, and then I can get full movement on the next turn. We'll probably have to dodge. So we're going to do that. Instead of trying to do some crazy dynamic, we're just going to get to there. You going to take a reaction?
I don't know if I'm in range. I only have 12 inches on this shotgun.
Oh, you're in range.
Oh, okay.
Gonna have to nail it.
Yeah, you know what? We'll do it for it. I'm gonna try to shoot Hask because, well, barring you getting a feat.
So you're gonna be at...
So I'm at minus...
You're at 5.
Or, yeah, 5. So...
I don't want to dodge.
That's up to you.
No, I'm just gonna take it because then I'll have a nail it movement.
Okay. So target number is 5 for my shotgun. Nailed it.
Yeah, you do nail it.
Which is my ability and feat. So you take 2 points of damage.
I got 2 damage that I'm going to have to roll here. Alright. So, let's see what I get. Hosk,
take one, maybe?
He takes 1. That is correct. Because with armor in that, I need 4 or less. So Hosk takes a point of damage. Alright. So, what's Hosk going to do now? Hosk now doesn't have to worry about anybody else shooting him. So he's going to move his nailed it speed, which is 7, because this is open ground and I'm not in water. He'll be able to get across this island. No problems. So he goes and books it over to here. And that is going to be it for this round. So at the end of the round, I have a player down. It's probably, well, it's definitely not coming back because I don't have a medic. But our couriers are still there. Canada's going to have to hold the line against everybody. And Hosk, well, we'll see if Hosk can make it to the other side. Alright, we'll be back for round 2.
Alright.
Jason won the initiative.
So I am going to start with Wishbone. Wishbone unfortunately cannot command anybody.
Well, not yet. He can always move into position to command.
That's true, if I needed to. But I am going to have him actually go and run intercept. So he is going to advance.
Yeah,
He'll go for.
He's just going to be able to move past, but that's fine.
That's fine because it'll get him over to here for his first action. So that's 4 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Then my second action, because I'll be on land, I'll at least be able to get to the other side of the water here. So I will. Oops, I'm gonna move Wishbone over to here, and I think that's gonna be Wishbone's 2 actions. So I'm gonna try to set him up in case if Hosk decides to try to beeline it on that frankly wide open field, so maybe I might be able to.
It's a lot of water.
I know, but I mean, it's still a chance that I might be able to get him, or at least ping him down, or who knows, maybe I'll get lucky and do something to him. So that's where Wishbone will go for this round.
Alright, well, let's see how I'm going to respond. Alright, so things are looking kind of dire for me in a certain way, because I just have Canada holding the middle against Arnox and Greys. Hosk has a good shot to make it to the side, although he's going to have to get past Wishbone to do it, and he's already been pinged once, and he's got a lot of swimming in front of him. I cannot give him orders, just because I can't see him.
Yeah.
So, and I'd only be able to suck him off myself, and right now, Canada's going to need all the orders he can get. So we'll start with Canada. The good news is Canada is not in the water, so not surrounded by water, so he can. He's going to move 6 and get 2. He's going to get to here. I'm going to try to see if I can knock over that thing.
Alright, when you go to there, I'm going to react and take a shot at you.
Okay, I'll take a nested action to shoot at you. So I'll return the fire. You'll get cover.
Yeah, but you have spray, don't you?
I do have spray, but so do you.
Yeah, it's within probably both of our short bands.
Yeah.
I'm 8.
I'm 9 with my spray, but we're within 7. But I do get to reroll a die because it's an opposed die roll. So let me take that action down. So I'm going to be down 1 because you're in soft cover.
Yep.
I'm typically a 6 to shoot. I'm up 1 because of spray to 7, down 1 again because of cover, so I'm at a 6.
And I have spray and you are not in cover, so I will be at a 6
So
to my
we're
shot.
both at 6s. I will be able to reroll my dice because of my gunfighter skill.
I'm just going to try to shoot you and see what happens.
Here we go.
I feated.
I do not feat. Oh, man. I did nail it, but I did not feat. That's sad. I could rerolling the attribute die won't help because I can't get a feat. So Jason does hit me.
And I'll get my action back as well.
You do get your action back. Really that's lucky. Even more painful because I'm down to 1 action. And I have to make 4 armor saves.
Yes.
I'm a toughness 4, so any 4s are better. Or 4s are less. I make 2, so I do take 2 points of damage. Not great. Alright, I'm going to try it again. I got to shoot him.
Alright, I will return fire as well.
Makes sense. Alright, here we go.
Need a 6 to get you.
Same here. I fail, but you blunder.
I blunder, so I just jammed my gun.
Yes, let's double check that, but I do, hopefully it should just be a jam. Shooting test, blunder, shot used, weapon used, jam. So he will not be able to shoot with that one anymore. I fail, but because I have gunfighter, I could reroll my attribute die, which is the reason why I'm failing. So I fail because I should be. If I would have had if I would have been my normal 7, I would have had it. But if I would have had my spray. So the good news is he can't shoot me. Bad news is
out of actions.
I'm out of actions, and he has 1 left. All right. So we'll see what happens here next. I'm still alive, and I don't have to worry about his horrible, horrible boarding shotgun.
Alright, well, Arnox no longer has a functioning weapon, so clearly...
Feels so bad for him.
Clearly, the only logical explanation that we have to do here is to set myself up for next turn when I will probably be murdered.
I'm hoping.
Or, what would make more sense...
is to move Grays?
Yeah. It would, kind of, but she's still kind of got some liberties to do some stuff. No. We'll move Grays up, actually. That does make a little bit more sense first. So, Grays will...
She's going to swim?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, 5 inches, and she'll get to right about here for her first action. And then for her second action, she's gonna swim. Because regardless, she's gonna get shot at. So, it doesn't matter how much more. It can't stack soft cover to my best of my knowledge. No. So, we'll just swim right there then to get myself ready for next activation, or if I need to come out of the water and use my almighty bow staff.
Yes. Alright, we're positioning things. Canada Holies. By being a pincushion for Arnox, he was able to
break my
to
gun.
Break his gun to eliminate a ranged threat, and now he's going to hopefully be able to take out Grays. So the question is, can his loyal Berengi, Hosk, come through and get the message to his father? We'll find out. Alright, so I got a couple options. I have the only person I have left. I shouldn't say I have options. I have Hosk, but Hosk has some options. Now I can move. If I double move, he has 2 actions. I could go 10 inches because I have to get into water. That clears me here, but then that has Wishbone peppering me with his horrible, horrible electro staff. Or I could go 5, which gets me about here, and then with my next action I could climb and get up here, which then sets me up for a dead run to get off the board. So I think that's going to be the smarter thing to do. So we're going to do that. Alright, so his first move is going to be 5 inches. Again, because I'm going in the water, I have restricted movement, which means I can only go my pass distance, which gets me to here. That's my first action. Whoop. My second action, we'll just put that away. I'm going to have to climb. So I climb 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5.
2.5. And I can have...
No, they're 2.5 because I think it goes 5.
I can go 7. It's if I pass.
No, it's if you pass.
I'm going to try to get to there. I'll have soft cover all the way, so that way if you get the jump on me. So that's 4, so 2.5, 3 to get up on the top of that, and another 3 gets me to that corner, and then have soft cover. Alright, that's the plan. Let's see if I could execute it. Hosk has a agility of 6, but because he is Berengi, they're natural climbers, so if I booch the climb roll, I can re-roll the attribute die. So here we go. 7-3. Oh, that's nice. I did booch that roll, so I'm going to re-roll this. Nailed it. Alright, perfect. So I get to go my full distance. So I climb up there, and I get to here.
Electro staff, go!
You gonna do it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. I mean, why not?
Okay, I'm just gonna fix this because it looks dorky with that like that.
So
I will have soft cover because you gotta shoot through that rail to get to me. What's the range? You're probably within range. Your range is constant. Oh yes, so it's in range. So you're just -1.
Yep. So I have a target number 6 normally, but because of cover, I'll go down to a 5.
Okay.
Pass.
Pass. So pass means it does deviate off me.
Yeah.
So roll a 10-sided. Just grab one and roll it.
4.
Goes to the 4, which is away, and 2. How many inches?
2.
– 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. – 2. so it clips me.
So that's 3 dice.
3 dice. Ouchies. Does
And it does...
Stun?
No. No, that would be awesome, but no.
That would suck.
It's just a deviation. I was checking if it did like rend or something.
No. So just 3? Okay.
Yep.
3 dice. I need 4s. I made 2, so I only take 1. Woo. I could live with that. Alright.
Alright, well, that was pretty cool.
That was cool. I think that's everything everybody could do this round.
Arnox has still got an action.
Oh, Arnox's got to go. Well, we'll see what he does. And just, do you want to keep going with it? Yeah, let's go ahead. All right. So what's Arnox going to do?
Arnox
show me what you want to do, and I'll move him for you.
This is going to be so stupid, but Arnox is going to go. He's going to try to go his full 6 inches. So he'll get up to the bow of the ship, which is 3.
He's going to just jump into the water?
Oh yeah. He's going to try to jump as far as he can and try to get that 6 to be in Kaneda's face.
Alright, so he gets to here. Go ahead and make your dynamic roll. Where'd you put your dice? You put them in your pocket?
Yeah.
There it is.
Dynamic,
what's his movement?
he is a 6. He is a fairly...
Mighty 6.
Feet!
Oh boy.
Wow, okay. That worked out amazingly.
Yes, it did.
So I get that back.
And he gets an action.
And I got my action back. So now Arnox will just advance into combat with you and...
He could charge.
Oh, can I? In the water?
Yeah, let me just check something really quick. Yeah, I don't see why he can't charge. Charge doesn't... And it's a party here at our house.
Oof.
Somebody just broke something upstairs.
Sounds expensive.
Sounds expensive. Yeah, there's just... it doesn't take 2 actions or anything. Let me just...
Oh, I figured. Well, we'll take a look here and we'll get right back to that.
Alright, so, yeah, what we discovered on the charge is you move your movement. So whether it's I'm moving past movement or if I have to make dynamic movement, I make those checks, I do the move, and I can still complete the charge. So basically he dove in the water, came springing out, rah!
Nah, more elegantly, like Michael Phelps.
And, yeah, no. And then gets up there, and he's going to swing his axe. I have no actions. Let me just take a look at something here real quick, because I do have Counter-Strike. If this model loses an opposed, okay, so I cannot do an opposed, so he's just going to whack me.
Alright,
so Arnox
because
is
I charged, I go up to an 8, so it's just...
Ooh.
Yeah, it's unopposed, isn't it? So you don't roll.
It's unopposed.
Nailed
it. So what's the nail it damage?
My nailed it is 4 dice, and I do have rend 1.
And rend is against...
Your toughness.
No, Pierce is against toughness.
Oh, darn it.
Let me double check. And they've changed the words, so... but Pierce has stayed the same. When making an armor roll against damage caused by this weapon, deduct 1 from the defending model's toughness. Rend now is Sunder, and Sunder is against armor.
Wow. Okay,
so it has no effect on this, thank goodness, but I still got to make 4 armor checks, right?
Yep.
4. I only have 2 wounds left, and I need 4s. Yikes. Of which I make 2.
So you're good.
No, I'm down because I still take 2.
Oh, sorry.
I only got 4. So I'm downed, I'm not dead. Or I'm not out, I should say. He passes out into the tree here. We're not going to do that. So Canada's out. So basically, this turn 3 is can Haas get off the board? Alright, that's everybody that you have for round 2, right?
Yeah, I'm out of people.
Alright, so we're going to go to round 3 and we'll see how this concludes because this is the big finale. Alright. This is, well, typically, so this game goes to turn 4 or 5. It will go to turn 4 or 5 if someone gets their courier off the board. Otherwise, it would end on 6. My guess is this might be the last round because this might be the last round because we're going to end on turn 4 because one of us is getting our guy off the board, if not both. So, who are you activating first?
I'm going to activate Graze first, so that way I can at least get that over with. And no!
She just short?
Yeah, because the edge of the map is right here.
We still get a turn 4. Right?
Yeah.
We'll double check.
So, yeah, it says the game
so
ends
he does
on
a
turn
double.
4.
He does
She does a
2 pass movements.
elegant butterfly stroke to try to get off to the board edge and get her package off.
Alright.
So that's where she'll go for both of her actions. Because she goes 5 on both.
And all I have left is
Husk.
So I will go ahead with Husk. Husk, can you do a move? Check his nailed it move. How far? You could go 7.
Yeah, go 7. So 7 will get him to
there.
here.
Yeah, let's do it. You'll get an open field shot at me, and then I'll have to decide what I want to do after that.
Alright.
Could dodge.
Alright, I will take a shot at you.
What's the range?
We'll call it 10. Yeah, 10 inches.
Being pass range for his dueling pistol, but I can't take you out in one. And I don't have enough inches to get off the board, so yeah, just shoot me.
Alright, does Husk have armor?
Yep.
Alright, I'm going to use my event card, Deadly Shot. So when I declare a shoot action, I can play this card, and this shot will benefit from a Pierce 1 roll for this shot only.
Okay, Pierce works against toughness.
No, sorry. Well,
but that's still the net result is going to be the same.
It still
on all
works.
3s.
So taking a shot, I am 6 to target now, because I'm not having to worry about the cover. And I pass.
Okay, so you get the pass.
Yep.
So doesn't matter where it scatters because I have a large enough base. If I was a 30 mil base, it would
matter a little
it
bit.
Would matter, but with the larger base,
with the 2 inches, with it only going 2 inches,
it's gonna
not
still
gonna
clip.
Yeah, it'll clip you.
So I'm gonna take 3.
3.
I'll be down 1 on toughness.
Yep, because
so
of Pierce.
So it goes to 2, but I have armor 1, so I need 3s. I fail all of them. So Haas goes down. He doesn't double, so he's just down. He's not out. What that does mean, however, is my thing kicks out. Put it on the opposite side of me. Not that. Yeah, that's fine. So my prize comes out. All right. Arnox will get to go.
Yep.
Arnox wants to just finish Canada. Finish him.
Actually, that does sound like a good idea.
You're still in base to base. You just automatically hit and you take him out. So
yeah, we'll just take him out, I guess.
Canada gets taken out. Oh, poor Canada. You failed again.
Alright.
Your father will be so upset.
And then
He still has another action.
yep, so I can only get 4 to get across to here, because otherwise then I'll hit the water before I could run off.
Well, yeah, just
So I'll go to there. And then
there. Fine.
so he goes there, and then Wishbone I guess will go try to pick up the thing, so I'm just gonna have him swim over, so 4 and 4 to get back up on the land here. And that will be my turn. 3.
We're going to just finish it here, so that would be 3. I'm going to do a quick read of the scenario, and we'll come back for turn 4 then.
Yeah, just to see how it would play off.
Alright. So we'll be back in just a second.
Alright, so the game would technically end on the next turn, and we just kind of want to explain, I guess, how the scoring stuff would go.
So basically, the way it reads, if you remember from the scenario that you saw at the beginning, game ends at the end of turn 4 or 5 if any prize has been moved off the table. Well, it hasn't been moved off yet. Jason, I'm just gonna help Jason out here. So he moves Grays off. That gets Grays off the board with the prize, and that gets him 4 victory points.
Arnox would go off the board.
Yeah, then move any other friendly character off the enemy deployment edge. Arnox goes and follows, so that's another victory point. So he's sitting on 5 victory points.
And then I don't know if I get anything, but Wishbone would then move over and then take this objective, and then
he had the action to take it.
He would 1 to move, 1 to take the objective, and then he'd have 1 more to.
As soon as he takes the objective, he gets that, so he'll get another 2 victory points to hold an enemy prize at the end of the game. So Jason ends with a grand total of 7 victory points. To my firm's sad 0. So what have we learned this game? We've learned that when you win every initiative roll, it's really, really strong.
And get healthy amounts of feats.
Healthy amounts of feats. And I will say, and it's been something, we've seen where people have just strung feats together, where one person just keeps getting it. Now, I will say that they have made a change from, we'll call it first edition. It's not really first edition, but they did make a big change to the rules. Initially, you could also feat if you pass, if you roll doubles
and passed.
So if I rolled less on my attribute die, if I rolled equal to or less than the attribute, and I rolled the same number on the feat die that was equal to or less than, then I would get a feat. And you could string 3, 4, 5 feats on one guy, and they could just keep going and going and going. So you could still do that in your gameplay if you like. It's just called cinematic, and it's not tournament. Tournament play is the only way you get a feat is if you roll a 1 or the feat symbol on the feat die, and that's it. Things that I could have done differently, given the way that I had set up, not much. Hask took the right route. Mm-hmm. It's just his support failed him. I was hoping to get Mirja in place, and when she took some damage and got, she took the shot, and the trick was we both feated, so that means we both got our thing off. So I actually got closer and was going to have the action to hit Arnox with my flamethrower, which would have been all kinds of fun. The problem was I failed all of my armor rolls, and Mirja went down like a sack of beans. I thought Canada over here would have been able to hold the center and pepper Grays, but again, I didn't get that initiative roll. It was great when I made Arnox blunder on his shotgun, because if I would have gone first, I would have taken Canada, and he was over here on turn 3. I would have probably moved him here and then just start shooting at Grays in the water. But as it was, he went first, and did Arnox go?
No, so when I went first, I had Grays swim up the way. Or no, I had Wishbone move over, and then...
Why didn't I have Canada go then?
Oh, because I got the feat. Remember? Because I had Arnox go last, Arnox did the cinematic jump into the water,
right,
got the feat, and then he's like...
feat when he went last, and then I was out of actions.
Yeah, so it wasn't...
So that all shit.
So it was all the feat right there. So
my turn 4 would have been moving over there and shooting the hell out of Grays. Anyway, sometimes the dice work in your favor, sometimes they don't. Maybe I would have just, again, when you got to try to split yourself out. I also say with 3 figures, this one's a little more of a tougher scenario to do. You'd like to have maybe 4 or 5 figures to pull it off. So like a 100-point game, which is usually about the average. 100, 120 is a good number to play, and it gives you a lot of options then. In addition to cards, you could have more figures out on the board. Anyway, that is the Drowned Earth in a nutshell. That was, again, a quick, dirty game. Dirty, definitely. Next time we'll try to add some more figures. We'll play another one of the book scenarios. If you enjoyed this game, let us know. Put something in the comments. Give us a like and subscribe. We do try to kick out as much content as we have. We're kind of slowing down for the holidays a little bit, so about every 2 weeks. But we're also trying to do some other games in there too. We're trying to diversify a bit, as it were. But definitely comment. If you played the game already and saw some things that we did wrong with the rules, let us know. Because not only will it correct us, it will help new players that might be watching this video to get it right too. If you enjoyed watching this game and want to see more, let us know. If you hate the camera angle, which we're still working on it, we're hopefully upgrading things, and I will say, compared to some other games, this game, in order to have a cool looking board, is really, really challenging on the camera angle. So we haven't quite, this is our first go at it. We're kind of passing back and forth. So
we just figured out Bushido. So
Bushido, we kind of got it down, and we know we got to.
We know how to work Bushido. We got to figure out how to do more action-oriented games.
Bushido, we need a third person. Maybe we need a third person for this too. And COVID makes it a bit challenging. Anyway, we hope that you do enjoy this. We appreciate you stopping by and watching us, and just making stupid dice rolls and bad jokes and all the rest of it. Again, if you like this game, throw us a like, subscribe, comment. Love to hear from you. And you know what? Have a great evening or day wherever you may be.